Hello, welcome to English for Everyone, where we practice real-life American English. Today we're going to learn to avoid some important mistakes, so let's get started. First, this is not correct.
They are mistakes. I'm not going to deny that. They are mistakes. There's no doubt about that. But they seem to hark on it a little bit too much.
It's not correct to say hark on. We have to use the phrasal verb harp on. It means to talk about something repeatedly in an annoying way. For example, his room is really messy. His mother is always telling him to clean up the room. She is always harping on it. Let's practice. His room is messy. She is always telling him to clean it up. Is she always harping on it? That's right. She's always harping on it. Good job. Let's listen to some examples.
They're always harping on how they're giving me a better life than they ever had.
Why do you harp on that?
So, try not to harp on the negative.
This is also not correct.
The next one is to harp up about something. Harp up. What does it mean? Well, to harp up about something means to continue talking about something again and again and again and again and again and
5 hours later.
again and again and again. That is to harp up about something. It's very annoying, isn't it?
I cannot say harp up or harp up about. This does not exist in English. The expression is harp on, not harp up. You harp on something or you harp on about something. It means you keep talking about it, and other people don't like it. You harp on something or you harp on about something, but you cannot say harp up. Let's listen to the example.
Look at this example. Can you stop harping up about how great Miranda looked at the party? Can you stop harping up about how great she looked at the party? So here's my friend saying, whoa, did you see Miranda? Whoa, Miranda was amazing. Whoa, I like Miranda. Whoa, did you see her boyfriend? Whoa, she was amazing. And I said, oh, come on, dude. Would you stop harping up about her?
This is not correct. I cannot say you can't stop harping up about how great Miranda is looking. Stop harping up about her? Again, this does not exist in English. It's harp on. So it's correct to say, can you stop harping on about how great Miranda looked at the party? So example, he was harping on about how great she looked. He kept talking about it and he was annoying other people. They didn't like it. That's when we use this expression. He kept harping on about how great she looked. Let's practice. Was he harping on about how great she looked? That's right. He was harping on about how great she looked. He kept talking about it and annoying other people. This is also not correct.
And then you have to steer. Yes, steer, but not steer. It's like steer. Steer very fast. You mean whisk. Ah, yes.
This word is not pronounced steer. It's pronounced stir, using the sound like burger. It's a closed sound, and you make a voice in the back. Here, low, in a low position. Burger, stir, not steer. Example, he needs to stir the soup. And right now, he's stirring the soup. Let's practice. Does he need to stir the soup? That's right, he needs to stir the soup. Is he stirring the soup right now? That's right, he's stirring the soup right now. This word is pronounced steer. So if you say steer, I'll think of this word. And this word has two meanings. Example, this is a steering wheel. And the verb, the action is steer. You can steer to the right or steer to the left. It's when you turn the steering wheel. And steer can be a noun. It can refer to a bull that cannot have babies anymore. These are two steers, and the steers are helping the farmer. Steer with a long E sound like beer, and clear, steer. Let's practice. What is this? Is this a steering wheel? That's right, this is a steering wheel. And what do? Do you steer the car with the steering wheel? That's right, you steer the car with the steering wheel. Let's practice. What are these? Are these 2 steers? That's right, these are 2 steers. And what are the steers doing? Are they helping the farmer? That's right, the steers are helping the farmer. So remember the pronunciation difference. This word is stir. Stir. You stir the soup. And this word is steer. You can steer your car, and some bulls are referred to as steers. This is also not correct.
And lesson up. For listening, I got 9 out of 9. I have recorded about 12, 13 lessons on listening. They are being edited.
The word is not pronounced lesson. It's pronounced listen. We use the short sound I, like this is, I. Listen to the difference. Listen, lesson. We need the short sound I, listen.
Are you even listening to me?
I was sitting there listening to all their stories.
Because you people and 62 million other Americans are listening to me right now. He said, God is listening, but I have to help myself.
Are you listening to me?
Yeah.
If you say lesson or lessening, these are different words. The word lesson is a noun. He's a student and he's working on lesson 1. He's working on the first lesson. He's not finished with the lesson yet. He's not finished with the first lesson. Let's practice. Is he working on lesson 1? That's right, he's working on lesson 1. Did he finish the lesson? That's right, he didn't finish the lesson. Is he still working on the first lesson? That's right, he's still working on the first lesson. So listen to the pronunciation difference. Lesson, he's working on the first lesson. And listen. Listen to the teacher. Listen. They have different sounds. We also have this verb, lesson. Lesson is a verb too. It means to make less. The first syllable has the short sound like 10 and bed. Lesson. To make less.
I'm not talking about Jesse lessening his involvement in the crimes. I'm saying...
And your consequent lessening of self-esteem.
Well, I was thinking of lessening the emphasis on moccasins altogether.
Oh.
Yes.
Example, a healthy diet can lessen the risk of heart disease. It can make the risk less. So I use the verb lessen. A healthy diet can lessen the risk of heart disease. If you eat healthy food, you'll have less of a chance of getting heart disease. So a healthy diet can lessen the risk of heart disease. Let's practice. Can a healthy diet lessen the risk of heart disease? That's right. A healthy diet can lessen the risk of heart disease. Pronunciation, lessen. So we see these 2 words are pronounced exactly the same. Lesson and lesson. With the short sound like bed and 10. But this word is listen. With the short sound like this is. Listen. And with ing, listening. Example, listening skills. Example, it's a good idea to watch videos in English to improve your listening skills. Pronunciation, listen, listening skills. Let's practice. Is it a good idea to watch YouTube videos to improve your listening skills? That's right. It's a good idea to watch YouTube videos in English to improve your listening skills. This is also not correct.
Trying to find different books, but to my experience, and this is very important.
That's right. I cannot say to my experience. I use the preposition in my experience. Example.
In my experience, they pretend to give it, but it's generally a smokescreen for demanding it back with interest.
And in my experience, at the end of things, it's almost always the men that think that not too much went wrong.
In my experience, there's no such thing as luck.
In my experience, people only go to these films to observe the undraped form of the native girls.
In my experience, I see more guys driving sports cars. Not girls. I see more guys driving sports cars. In my experience. Let's practice. In your experience, do you see more guys or girls driving sports cars? That's right. In my experience, I see more guys driving sports cars, not girls. This is also not correct.
Yes, you can. It depends on your general English. It depends on how good are you with English.
That's right. It's not correct to say it depends on how good are you. Are you is a question structure. If I ask a direct question, I say, how good are you? But if I say it depends, that's not a question. It's a positive structure. So I have to switch and say, it depends how good you are. We use the positive structure, you are. It depends how good you are.
It depends on how good he is at it.
It depends on how they are.
It depends how you mean it.
Well, I guess it depends on how this goes.
It depends on how far advanced the tumor is.
But
it depends how curious you are about what comes next.
Well, it depends on how prepared you are.
Example, how much money can I make? Oh, well, it depends on how good you are. Let's practice. How much money can I make? That's right. It depends how good you are. This is also not correct.
Is your course free? No. The courses I have on my website are not for free because I have spent 3 years developing them. I have worked for 3 years. That's why I do not give them for free.
That's right. It's not correct to say year. It's year with a long E sound like green beans. Year. 1 year, 2 years. Link the sound from the E to the R. Year. Year. It sounds like ear and here and beer. Year. 1 year, 2 years.
Just 6 years ago, the homicide rate in this country had reached epidemic proportions.
James, do you remember 6 years ago you had a phone number?
Sure, 15 years ago, but he was a good thief.
He's 145 years old.
45 years old.
Randy Kartoff, released just 6 years ago for felony drug possession and sexual assault, uploaded the confession online before taking his own life.
Example, I've been speaking English for many, many years, all my life. How long have you been speaking English? Very good. So remember the pronunciation of these words. The first word is listen, listen. And we have lesson. Like in school, you do a lesson. Like when you're studying, you do a lesson. And lesson, to make less. It's a verb. Lesson. And remember, we don't say to my experience, it's in my experience. Intonation, in my experience. And remember the pronunciation of year. Make the long E sound, connect it to the R. Year. 1 year, 2 years. And remember when you say it depends, use a positive structure. You're not asking a question. Use a positive structure. Thank you for watching. And if you like this video, subscribe to our channel. And if you want to become a member, click the join button. And we'll see you next time.